The Jimmy Z Show.
Okay, let's revisit that LZ Granderson guy, the sports writer who was on CNN talking about Obama and Obamacare and the lies Obama has been telling us. Okay, so a little bit about this clown. LZ Granderson is an American journalist and commentator for CNN and ESPN. He writes a weekly column for CNN.com. He is a senior writer and columnist for ESPN the magazine and ESPN.com's Page 2. And he has contributed to the channel's Sports Center, Outside the Lines, and ESPN First Take. And he comments for ESPN's coverage of the U.S. Open tennis tournament. He has also hosted the web-based ESPN 360 talk show Game Night. Okay, so he's a sports guy. And he's a virulent left-winger. And they were talking on this television news show on CNN about Barack Obama and Obamacare and what a mess it is. And they were talking with Peggy Noonan on this program about what an ineffective leader President Obama has been, especially in terms of Obamacare. And if you didn't listen to my show yesterday, you need to go back and listen to the reading of her column about Obama's leadership or lack of leadership during the entire Obamacare fiasco. It's a great article. So Peggy Noonan outlines a couple of things very quickly about how ineffective Obama has been on his signature health care plan. And then the host goes over to LZ Granderson and asks him what he thinks about what Peggy Noonan just said. And the first thing out of his mouth is Reagan.
Peggy Noonan has made a living scrubbing clean President Reagan's administration and all the atrocities that it's committed.
What a schmuck. What a loser. No, it's Reagan, man. It's Reagan. I'm still obsessed with Reagan. He was born in 1972. And so he was 8 years old in 1980 during the Reagan administration. What the hell does he know about Reagan? Sure, he could read books and stuff, but I doubt he has. He just hates Reagan because he was educated in schools that told him Reagan was bad. Reagan 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 bad. It's unbelievable. This is really pathetic. We're talking about Obama and Obamacare and the mess that has resulted from Obamacare. Forget the website. The website is small potatoes. We're talking about the effect Obamacare is having on the American people and how Obama lied and many people's health care plans died. This is about Obama. And this guy goes back 30 years to talk about Ronald Reagan.
Peggy Noonan has made a living scrubbing clean President Reagan's administration and all the atrocities that it's committed.
You know, he sounds like a doofus. He really does. He sounds stupid. And he's a commentator for CNN and ESPN. A big, dumb galoot. Reagan. Ronald Reagan. Clean Ronald Reagan. Atrocities Ronald Reagan. Okay, so I'm going to start this over again. And I want you to hear this. I'm going to play the whole thing through, and then I'll go back and take apart some of the things he says. But twice, in 55 seconds, he says, with that being said, because he thinks that phrase sounds more intelligent, makes him sound more intelligent when he says something that is completely off topic, a total non sequitur. Reagan is cleaning up Reagan's debate, Reagan's atrocities. With that being said, it's like you can tie anything to anything with that being said, which is a complete misuse of that phrase anyway. So here you go. This is LZ Granderson and the whole thing, and then we'll come back.
Peggy Noonan has made a living scrubbing clean President Reagan's administration and all the atrocities that it's committed. So with that being said, I don't think that history is... Well, what I'm saying is that she's pretending as if once an error has happened, that it's forever going to trail a president. And that just isn't true, and she's living proof of that with scrubbing clean President Reagan's administration. Now, with President Obama, it is true. He should have been more forthright with how the Affordable Care Act was going to impact the country. But with that being said, all Americans know politicians lie. The question is, which lies can you live with? And time again, Americans have said we can deal with the lies that President Obama tells us because we believe in his heart he has the best interest for the American people. Every president is going to lie to you. Every politician is going to lie to you. The question is, which lies can you live with?
Just wow. That's insane. I'm stunned again. I wrote on Facebook last night, every time I read his words, every time I hear his words, and I've read them and heard them about a dozen times now, I am as shocked today as I was the first time I heard what he said. Now, I'm not shocked that a liberal could think this way, but I am shocked. I mean, this is one of the really great examples of stupidity in liberalism. He's saying that it's okay that the president lied. And really, this is the core of liberalism, because it doesn't matter if a politician lies because the agenda is more important than telling the truth. He finally finishes talking about Reagan 22 seconds into the 55 seconds of stupidity. And you notice he's also fond of saying, scrubbing clean, the history of Ronald Reagan. Scrubbing clean. Like we have to scrub it clean because it was so filthy. It was so dirty. What a douche. I can't believe this guy. It's all just unbelievable.
She's living proof of that with scrubbing clean President Reagan's administration.
He's obsessed with Reagan. So he finally gets around to talking about President Obama.
Now, with President Obama, it is true. He should have been more forthright with how the Affordable Care Act was going to impact the country.
Okay, now, when you consider what he says after this statement, why should President Obama have been more forthright? Why should Obama have been more honest when it's okay that he lied? And according to Granderson, Americans have said that they can deal with the lies that President Obama tells us. So if all that were true, I have no idea why President Obama should have been more honest.
Now, with President Obama, it is true. He should have been more forthright with how the Affordable Care Act was going to impact the country.
Why? That's my question. Why should he have been more upfront when 2 seconds later, this guy says, well, it was fine because the American people have said that we're okay with Obama lying. It's just unbelievable. It makes no sense.
But with that being said...
Oh, there he goes again. He loves that. Twice in 55 seconds he says, but with that being said... It's like I could say, the car was going too fast. But with that being said, I smoke a lot of cigarettes. Oh, brother.
But with that being said, all Americans know politicians lie. The question is, which lies can you live with?
Well, okay, so it's fine if politicians lie. It's perfectly okay if politicians lie. Americans know politicians lie, and he is now excusing politicians lying. Why? Because President Obama is his favorite president, and he wants Americans to accept the fact that Obama lies through his teeth. Every time Obama opens his mouth, he lies. And LZ Granderson wants you to think, well, that's fine because all politicians lie. It's part of the game. So accept it and embrace it, because Obama's lies are lies we can deal with.
All Americans know politicians lie. The question is, which lies can you live with? And time again, Americans have said we can deal with the lies that President Obama tells us.
You got to be kidding me. Time and time again. When are these times that he's talking about? I have never seen a poll that said the American people are okay with Obama lying. Never once have I seen a poll. That would be a great poll for a pollster to essentially ask the question that LZ Granderson is giving us here in a statement.
The question is, which lies can you live with? And time again, Americans have said we can deal with the lies that President Obama tells us.
Time and time again. When are these times? When is it that the American people have said we can deal with the lies that Obama tells us? We're okay with the lies that Obama tells us.
Time and time again, Americans have said we can deal with the lies that President Obama tells us.
And I can't believe the host didn't challenge him on that. Dude, what are you talking about? Where do you get this concept? Where do you get this factoid that time and time again the American people have said, it's fine. Obama lies, politicians lie, we don't care. Obama lies, and we can deal with it. Oh my God, my brains are going to explode out of my head. This makes no freaking sense. This man is a lunatic. And he's a commentator that the people at CNN are putting on television as a serious commentator. He's awful. This is terrible.
Time and time again, Americans have said we can deal with the lies that President Obama tells us because we believe in his heart he has the best interest for the American people.
Yeah, he has the best interest for the American people. And Obama is so certain that the American people are going to benefit from this that he must lie. That he must lie about it. God, that makes zero sense. It's completely illogical. Because if I had an idea that the American people were going to love and that it would be great for the American people across the board and that everyone was going to realize one day, oh, this is going to be a great plan, I would not lie about it. I would say this is a great plan and you're going to love it. You're going to love the fact that you're paying through the nose and you're going to pay a lot more for health insurance. Your premiums are going to go up. Your out-of-pocket costs are going to go up. You're going to lose your doctor. You're going to lose your plan. And this is something you're going to love. Be honest. If you believe that that is going to be great for the American people, open your mouth and tell the truth. But don't tell me that you have this great idea that the American people are going to love, and so I'm going to have to lie and tell you it's something else. That's crap. That's bull. And this guy, LZ Granderson, is telling us that the American people believe that it's a good thing and acceptable, and we can deal with Obama lying to us.
Time and time again, Americans have said we can deal with the lies that President Obama tells us because we believe in his heart he has the best interest for the American people. Every president is going to lie to you. Every politician is going to lie to you. The question is, which lies can you live with?
I can't take it. This is insane. This is total insanity. That there would be somebody on television, I don't care if he's a big, dumb black man who is so invested in Obama because of Obama's skin color. I guarantee you that's why. Because this guy was not on television telling us that George W. Bush was lying about WMDs. I don't think he was, but let's say this guy probably did think that George W. Bush was lying about the weapons of mass destruction. And you're going to tell me that he would say this about George W. Bush lying about WMDs in Iraq.
Time and time again, Americans have said we can deal with
the lies that George W. Bush tells us. No, he would never say that. No liberal would. The reason LZ Granderson is saying that Americans can deal with the lies that President Obama tells us is because he's President Obama, and he's a liberal, he's a socialist, and the agenda is more important than whether or not Obama tells a lie or tells the truth. It's outrageous. It's completely outrageous. This guy is insane. He's on television telling you, he's speaking to you. He's not, these shows on CNN and Fox News and MSNBC are not people talking to each other. On the surface they are, but they are talking to you. They are trying to convince you. Both people on the left and the right are trying to convince you. I'm trying to convince you to think a certain way. That's what this is about. Talk radio, talk television. It's about trying to convince you to think a certain way, or to give you arguments that you might be able to use with your friends and relatives and coworkers who think differently and who think like stupid liberals, and you want to try to enlighten them. This guy is trying to convince the American people that it's okay that Obama lied and we can deal with it. Because what he has in his heart for the American people, the way he cares about the American people, is more important than whether or not he lied. Which is all a bunch of bunk, because Obama had to lie because he knew the American people were going to hate this. They sat in their meetings at the White House and thought, okay, well, what are we going to tell the American people? Because if we tell them that they're going to lose their health insurance, they're going to get pissed, and they're not going to like this, and they're going to fight against this. So we got to tell them something that they're going to like. Everyone's going to get a lollipop. Everyone's going to get a Mercedes-Benz. And everyone's going to have a white picket fence in front of a nice house. And then when it doesn't come around, Obama can apologize. Well, I apologize to the American people, because it turns out that nobody's getting a Mercedes-Benz. Freaking unbelievable. One more time. Never forget this. LZ Granderson on CNN telling you that you accept the lies from President Obama's mouth.
Time and time again, Americans have said we can deal with the lies that President Obama tells us.
No, we can't. We are not. And the polls are telling us the exact opposite of what LZ Granderson said. The American people are not accepting Obama's lies. They're not dealing with Obama's lies. They are repulsed by them. So, LZ, you're full of crap. We know it. Shut up.
Time and time again, Americans have said we can deal with the lies that President Obama tells us.
Shut up!
All right. I got that out of my system, and that felt good, because all last night I was setting something up on Facebook. I put a picture up, a screen capture of this guy on television, and I put his quotes in quotation bubbles and posted that on Facebook, on Freedom Torch, and on Patriot Action Network. Because in print, somehow it's even more shocking. It's even more stupid that someone would say that time and time again, the American people have said that they like it when Obama lies to them. So anyway, I had to get that out of my system.
The Jimmy Z Show.